So what are we doing? We're in the car and we'll see Ed. We'll see Ed today. We see Ed. What about if we get a coffee? Will we get the perfect park? The perfect park, and then we might go to the dog park. The dog park. And then, to top it all off, we'll get a bone. Hi everyone, it's Dr. Rich Mclean. I'm a political prisoner and I'm giving away some cash. I've recently got an email from the finance minister of the country saying that there will be some compensation involved in the systemic oppression that led to my death. I'll put that information below, and the cover-up of that, and further the systemic oppression from many agencies over the whole government. This is Crystal in the background. She'd love some food. I'd love some food. My situation is at the moment, I'm squatting. I've got nowhere to go, no one to depend on, and I'm a doctor of philosophy. I've spent 25 plus years advocating for the marginalised people, more marginalised than me, in mental health sectors. I'm a former illustrator of the Age and the Herald Sun, and I've got a human rights award. I've written a book. I'm a doctor. I've got a Master's of Education. I'm clever, but now I'm a bit maimed in the head because I had lost all my blood in a fatal injury. But I'm asking for your help today because this is going to take a while, this conciliation. I'm actually on a disability support pension, and that it doesn't cover me to even exist in this house, and rent is due, and I've got no one to depend on. So if you believe in justice, if you invest in these issues, and I'll just spell out very quickly in a minute, and how I'm owed all this money, I will repay you your money back, as well as 25%, as well as 25% to an approved charity of your choice. It's Dr. Rich Mclean. I'm an ethical, equitable, kind, nice, sometimes sexy man, and I'm here to help me and to help you. So please listen. Thanks. Yeah, I'm a multi-millionaire on paper, theoretically, but I'm also a Buddhist. I don't need much. I don't need much more than this house. You can't take it with you, and when I get compensation, that's why I can pay you back. But in the meantime, I need some help and food and to pay my rent. Otherwise, the police are going to move me on, and I'll be incarcerated forever. So here we go. Here's where I made the money from. Cheers. Have a listen. Just before I go on, a little bit about political prisoner. So I used to be kind of semi-famous for my advocacy work and my public work, and a human rights awarded book I wrote, and now I'm infamous. I can't go to police. I'm banned from IBAC. I'm banned from the Commonwealth Ombudsman, the State Ombudsman. I'm banned from a whistleblower from both of those, and from APRA and APRA. I have no grounds to complain anywhere. And so it's hard to move on, especially having an acquired brain injury from losing all my blood. You would think that a person who's literally died in a hospital would... I'm not suicidal, by the way. I'm fine. Would see a psychologist, but that was in March 21. Haven't seen one since. So I'm actually systemically oppressed across the board. Both I've got letters I'll put below from the Attorney General and the NDIA Minister, Reynolds, and there's some stuff there from Greg Hunt and all sorts of other important people who are condoning the destruction and desecration of my life. And if you want to find out more about me too, please visit my reconstructed website, richmclean.com.au, and you can find out about my art there. And if you can't help in this way, maybe you could share my artwork and buy a card for your mum. Okay, cheers. Here I am again. It's hard to explain this all succinctly, but issue one. I became not unwell, but I became incapable of attending work for political reasons, and from abuse from my client, which I put place things in place to stop. and I've been rejected my income assist. For a whole year, I've lived in desecration and under extreme duress. It's been very stressful, but my life's been an uphill battle. Let's be honest. But yeah, I'm owed 75 grand from there. That's owing to me. That's going to come. Okay, that's one. Issue 3. We've got the NDIS and the NDIA. Now, I'm a registered therapeutic support for the NDIS-A and insured by ComSure. I'll get to that in a minute. But the NDIS and A refuse to give me my valid invoices to be paid. That is because of a systemic conspiracy to render me a vagrant, which has succeeded. However, it's not cricket, and I've written to the NDI minister, Ms. Reynolds, and I explained to her this is desperate. I haven't got medication, I haven't got food, and I am squatting, and it is the government's responsibility to look after its citizens. Now, they think that they can get me because I'm alone and have no voice. I do have a voice, and I'm not afraid to use it. So it's unthinkable that someone who's could be or has been very distressed due to this systemic victimisation, which is against the law, and libel and slander against the law, and conspiracy to further course of justice against the law, to withhold just basic rent, which is a line item on NDIA stuff for emergency rent, and they're absolutely refusing to acknowledge it, and the NDIA minister is refusing to acknowledge it too. So that's the third issue. I'm going to get justice for that as well. So that's number 3. Okay, cheers. We'll go on. Hey viewers, feel like I'm Paul Hogan. Number 4. So years ago, and this maybe is why I was framed, I was framed as an extortionist, which absolutely I'm not. I don't need the money. In actual fact, a few years ago, someone gave me 100 grand. It was the old rental where I used to live with my former partner, and he gave me 100 grand, then said it was a mistake, and while I was studying my PhD as a poor student, he said it was a mistake and he wanted it back. So I gave it back. Because money's not my currency, but ethics and justice is. So, I forgot what I was going to say. So what was the one I was going to talk about? I forget. So this is the problem with losing your blood. You forget. Wait on, I'll be back. It's absolutely left me. I forgot what I was going to say. But the other issue is the Attorney General. So Michaela Cash has what was I going to say? Work cover. So I've been deferred my work cover thing for the whole year, and lived in financial desecration for so long, since March 2021. It's now nearly a whole year later. And I wrote to her about all these sectors which were overseeing under her portfolio, including the Australian Human Rights Centre, Comcare, and AFCA, and APRA, and APRA, and the AAT. The AAT were pushing forward with a conciliation to do with my work cover. However, the government, who had literally already killed me, now has a lawyer to defend them, and I've just got me and my forgetful brain. So I didn't consent to that, but they went ahead with it, and I explained about how all of these things under her portfolio were not working for me, and that I don't need welfare, I need justice. And I said, please don't send me to the Zane helpline, because my book was Zane's Book of the Year, and I've already spoken to Jack Heath, the CEO. Anyway, so she wrote back the letters below, and sent me to the Zane helpline. So basically, the government's condoning my vagrancy and the fact that I have no food. This is why I'm convinced that there's a conspiracy to desecrate me in every way. And listen to this. Hang on. So yeah, I had a website going, richmclean.com today, which you can have a look below, because I've revived it after months and months and months. But that was the methodology and the method through which I sold art and downloadable things, and shared a movie that was made about my life and art as an advocate and artist. And it was intentionally and maliciously destroyed by Micron21, who's got ties to the government. Now, they well knew that it was having all this evidence that was with me, and they destroyed it with immunity from the law, and they destroyed it absolutely and desecrated my digital identity. So, my email, rich@richmclean.com.au, was destroyed, and the website, and all the backups, and all the emails that I'd kept for 20 years. So clearly this is a litigative thing, but it's just part of the broader movement to destroy me. So, I was so upset. I'd worked on that website for 30 years, and I had all my evidence on there, and friends who'd suicided, that kind of stuff, like pictures of Nana. It was an utter destruction of my digital online identity, and it was also, Rich Mclean is also the ABN of my business. So, the people that didn't care about that were ASIC, were the tax department, were business.gov.au, were business.gov.vic.gov.au, and the inspectorate and IBAC and the police. And then I was told to go to the Small Business and Family Ombudsman, and then I was told to go to the Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman. Then I went to the Cyberwatch thing. No one cares that Rich Mclean got destroyed, because the attacks that happen on me occur via faceless proxy, and the people who are instrumental in that are given agency to act because they have prior knowledge that they are free from litigation, and imbalanced by the fact that they've got money and the fact that I haven't, because I'm destitute, says to them that they can act with immunity and impunity from the law. And they're right, because I absolutely can't report that to police, and I absolutely can't report it to federal police, and I absolutely can't go to any systemic government organisation or agency in order to report destruction of intellectual property and destroying a business and a person's means for income. That was the method by which I got clients and everything. Have a look, it's richmclean.com.au. There's so much work there, and it has all my achievements and stuff on there. But because I was so effectively framed, these things can be done with impunity. So I want to hold them to account too, because that's not cricket doing that. They knew it was evidence before a court, which is destruction of evidence, and they also knew it would destroy me, and they did it. But anyway, just another feather in the bow, eh? Listen to the next one. Wait on. Hey, this goes back a few years, and it's a very sad story, but I'll tell it lightheartedly. I got suicidal not because I was mentally ill or anything, but because I was so alone doing a PhD and so bereft of human contact. And a beautiful friend of mine, Nathan Turnley, suicided, and I explained to a GP, because I've got a bad memory, that I was going to kill myself, and I recorded it innocuously. So I found it later when I moved out of this house to Ocean Grove, and I thought it was an ethical issue, so I brought it up. And the following organisations and agencies and statutory bodies silenced that evidence, even though it was legible and admissible before a court. APRA, NHPOPC, HCC, the police, IBAC, the Commonwealth Ombudsman, so many people. I just can't believe it. It was a years-long battle, and it was happening at the same time as the battle I was having in my sexual abuse case, where I was the victim, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And basically there was this malpractice case, and I was so systemically framed as some kind of extortionist, which I only found out after I got out of hospital by his lawyer. I've never had a lawyer. I'm actually banned from the Victorian Legal Bar, which is really not cricket, and they framed and destroyed me. And there's a few genesis points where I'm destroyed, but I'll get to those. What was I going to talk about? The next one. Okay, well done. So that's a malpractice case. It's a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, is what it is, and silencing evidence. But it's also a profound victimisation, which led to my hospitalisation and suicide, which is basically a conspiracy to murder. Now, people could argue that I'm the person who, tried to top myself, but but I knew that I'd been so successfully framed, and I'd lost all hope in humanity and anyone being on my side, that that happened. Unfortunately, the hospital reports say it was fatal. I might as well go on to the next one now. So you'd think that would be an atonement or a simple gesture of from the hospital of what happened, or maybe even I could sue the hospital for their abandonment of duty of care and breach of human rights. However, both the police and the Health Complaints Commissioner and the Mental Health Complaints Commissioner and the Victorian Ombudsman all condoned that. I call it murder, they call it suicide, but you can't do that in a hospital, and it was covered up. And the CEO, I asked for a simple atonement or a symbolic gesture, a small one that would atone that from the hospital CEO. He was Dave Stevenson, and he was so pleased that he knew that I had no agency to go to police or complain, and the government condoned it as okay, that he emailed me directly and said, if you want to sue the hospital, sue me personally and directly for the thing. And that's the audacity with which I'm framed, and with which how voiceless they've made me. But this is my voice, and killing.info is my protest about this, and my asking for help. And now that I've got some government support, at least in part, that it's not a no, and these things will finally come out in the wash. That's how you can make money, and I can also donate 25% to your charity. So if you believe in justice, please help me. I'm in Footscray, and we've got nothing chicken. Crystal on the bed, you can see she's beautiful. She has chicken breast. She's a very fussy eater. I'm a bit hungry, and we'd appreciate your support out of all this. So share it around. Okay, next one. Just a little note here on Werribee Mercy Hospital, where I managed to successfully suicide. So the Freedom of Information says it was fatal. They reluctantly filled me up with blood and found me accidentally, so I wouldn't be here without that. And I'm glad they did, but really at the time I'd been oppressed for so many years and so much, and victimised in such a horrible way, with the police, and also with the CAT team and the Werribee Mercy hospital itself, and the CAT team and that kind of stuff, which I recorded, because I record a lot of things to prove not only to myself that they're true, but because I've got a poor memory, but to protect myself as well. So with that hospital, I've had a second incarceration with my family. They won't stand up for my justice issues, but they will call me mad, and they'll lock me up. So I was locked up again just before Christmas for a bloody called COVID. Thanks, family. And in the hospital, and while I was in there, and it's evidence on killing.info, they threatened to lock me up, permanent, a ward of the state, forever. And that is in preference to, if I don't die by killing myself, which they're planning, or successfully isolating me so that I'm so desperate that I will do something dire or threaten someone or have a reason to lock me up, that they'll put me away forever. And I just want to publicly state that I'm fine. This isn't about mental health. This isn't about social help or welfare. It's about me being a political prisoner and me being framed, the victim of a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice via government, local, state, and federal agencies. And it's a vile victimization and desecration and destruction of one person who has spent so many years proving his worth, advocating for others. And I just simply want to live a simple life with my dog. Where'd she go? Oh, she's over there. And I hope you can help me do that, because at the moment I've got no money, no car, squatting, and I'm not working at the moment, and I own only a few things. My sentience, this computer and a phone, and my bed behind me, books, and my dog. My number one priority is getting some chicken breast for my dog, and I forgot again what I was saying, but oh yeah, that's right. So Werribee Mercy Hospital, I refuse to be owned by them, and I refuse to be incarcerated indefinitely, because of a political fight that is balanced on one side illogically with a whole massive systemic government which I've reverse engineered and exposed against one single vulnerable and very powerful person, and that's me. So I must be something important if all this has gone on. So I just want to say that I'm not suicidal and I'm not unwell. This is about power, money and privilege, and protecting those with money, power and privilege. I've already proven to myself beyond over and over my own self-love and worth. I don't need approval from anyone, but I do need justice because it is unquestionably imbalanced, inequitable. If I can't go to the police or get a lawyer or go to any agency or any ombudsman and get any help anywhere and still have nothing and literally beg the senior politicians in charge of the NDIS and the Attorney General for help, and they condone this happening. And that evidence is on the website too, killing.info. So go and have a look. This is why I'm getting a conciliation from the government and why your investment helps me. And it'll help you. And it'll help your cause too. So thank you. Well, that's right. Here's a biggie for you. Comcare and WorkSafe. Oh, gee, what a nightmare. So as well as HCF and AFCA and many other agencies delaying and deferring until I have nothing, which has actually worked, including Centrelink, who knew I'd suffered a suicide attempt and had been on a DSP before, but put me on JobSeeker. Ripper. That was the government's way of kicking the boot in. But Comcare, the NDIS insurer, and it went delayed, deferred, went back and forward for so long. The evidence is clear. Now, Paul Fowler is the head at Comcare. He's rejected my claim, which is 95% of my wage of $120,000 a year job for that time. And I begged WorkSafe, who kept telling me to go to Comcare, to help with my Comcare appeal, and they refused to. Now, I wondered why this was, and I threatened to sue them, but of course I'm banned from lawyers, so I can't sue them, and I have no money anyway. So it turns out that something just came up. It turns out that Paul Fowler from Comcare was the old head at WorkSafe and a lawyer. So you can tell how this movement works. It's all linked into important people who are all pissing in each other's pockets, kind of thing. So Comcare, if it's a work cover claim, or if due to if I ever saw a neurologist, because in the time that it's been since March 2021, and today is the 5th of February 2022, I have not seen a psychologist or barely a psychiatrist and no neurologist. And I literally had a fatal injury and have lost all my blood and have memory issues. And in addition, I can't feel my feet. I can't explain this enough. I've tried to for GPs forever. They're not invested in looking after me health-wise, so I'm kind of a bit marginalised with any healthcare whatsoever. What was I going to say? Oh, sorry, I've forgotten again. I was going to say, there's only two more things. Please listen to me. Okay, well. And as a gay fella, I was in a relationship with a guy for nearly 5.5 years, ending in 2015. And actually, I'll just be brief. I spent my nest egg on him. I was on about $300 a week, and he was on about $300,000 to $400,000 a year. He was an ASIO agent. He left me homeless, squatting with his dying dog, and there was no equitable separation, which is legal and just for de facto relationships. He's on the run. I'm framed. That's why I can't see a doctor. I think maybe that's one of the reasons I can't go to the police, in addition to other reasons, because they're hoping that to stigmatise me by being crazy and paranoid and all that kind of stuff, which I'm not. which I am, but for legitimate reasons. And you know, as someone who embezzled $1.5 million in a tax haven offshore, while I was with him and got a slap on the fine for it. I mean, there's clearly systemic justice issues happening, and they would prefer that I don't get that money, and he would prefer that I don't get that money. But I've got a letter from his lawyer, and I need one single lawyer to just get back to his lawyer, and it's an easy walk in the park thing, but I haven't been able to do it in 6 years or so because it's he's threatened to hit man on me, he stole my car, all this kind of stuff. So it got quite nasty, and look, there's no feeling for me. I just need to acknowledge that this thing happened, and really it's not about money for me. It's about justice, and it's about getting your voice back and being heard, and it's about having your human rights met. I do have a human rights award, and I've done ethics at PhD level. It means do no harm, and so much harm has come to me from this systemic government oppression that it's really an incredibly wild story to tell, and impossible to kind of break down into parts. But I've tried my best. I'll just finish up now. Thanks. So just wrapping up, but just think about it for a sec. You're a nice person. You've achieved a lot. You've travelled the world. You've advocated for other people for 25 years. You've got a beautiful dog you love. You love the simple things in life. But it's impossible to move on because you have no agency to move on. You've been utterly and absolutely framed, systemically, heinously and brutally victimised. You cannot go to the police to report rape, murder, tax evasion, drug trafficking, anything. You can't go to an ombudsman. You can't go to a commissioner. You get denied your NDIS. You can no longer work for the NDIS. You have a disability now, and or maybe before, but as you can see on Mclean.com today, just a broad perception doesn't mean disability. It means you're gifted in other ways. Sometimes your disability is your ability. And there's no ombudsman, federal police officer, attorney general, or anyone I can go to. And I sit here today, it's the 5th of February, 2022, crazy times. But I want to give back to the community, and I want to have a simple life. And I do. I love my life. This isn't about money for me, but I can't literally move forward without this freedom from oppression lifted and acknowledged. And I know that there was a movement to kill me, because they did. And then it was covered up, and they're still trying. So just think about, in a really compassionate way, what it means to be such a forward-thinking, creative, advocated for other people for so long, and then needed something themselves. And it's not a lot. It's just, what I want is freedom from oppression. I mean, few weeks ago, someone came to my door and threatened to kill me. That's the kind of stuff I put up with. It's not right. It's not cool to have death threat to the door. It's not cool not to be able to go to police. It's not cool to be a victim of a huge conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. It's illegal. And it's not cool to be victimised, and it's not cool to be framed. It's not cool to have libel and slander absolutely desecrate your life, and it's not cool to destroy your documents. It's not cool to ban you from litigation, and it's not cool to try and aid and abet your death by making it so hard for you. But today, we went for a little walk to the coffee shop, had enough change for a coffee. I enjoy my dog, the simple life, enjoy people, meeting people, all that kind of stuff. I still find the joys in life, and I'm grateful I'm here. I'm grateful to all those who have helped so far, and I'm hopeful for your help. If you may share this video, if you may help me by going to killing.info, or that you may actually share it to your local MP or political person. I doubt that it'll work though, because I'm framed by the top-notch people. I've even spoken to AGIC, which is the investigative agency which investigates ASIO, where my former partner worked. So that's how high it goes. So they are going to try and kill me. Go to killhim.info. They're trying, but I'm not suicidal. Please, you got to believe me. I'm just trying to have a life free from oppression and a very simple life. My goals for the next week are to get enough rent, which is 1646 for to pay rent on the 10th. Otherwise, the police are going to move me on, and they're going to try and shift it around that I'm a paranoid person, and they're going to lock me up as a ward of the state forever. And this is partly an insurance policy against that. So thanks for listening. It's Dr. Rich Mclean and Crystal. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. Crystal! 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 Woohoo! She's asleep. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? Anyway, it's Rich Mclean signing off. Thanks for listening. Hey, go to killing.info, and if you want to find out about my former life, go to richmclean.com.au. Okay? Cheers. All the best. Have a good day.